Hello, everyone! Welcome to the Settings Series tutorial of Wings Engine Water. Today, we are in the first lesson of the tutorial. Let's first take a look at the Wings engine. What are the different ways to set the water bodies? First of all, as we all know, the Wings engine, rendering on the entire web, has always been. There have been many technological breakthroughs we can see in the current screen. The integration of the entire GIS image and volume clouds, including high-altitude clouds and atmospheric scattering effects, which can be achieved on the web. Extremely extreme effects. We've also made deep exploration. We have also made deep explorations. Today's overview of water. First, let's take a look at the Wings engine. How many types of water settings are there? First, we are in the Wings engine. We have three kinds of water, which are a flat water, which is achieved by a plane, and a fluctuation of the normal vector to achieve the effect of water. The second one is a water simulated by waves form. This is achieved by using the entire grid for each vertex, a dynamic waveform simulation to achieve the effect of water. The third one is based on the diving equation to achieve a physical simulation of water. This is usually used in, such as in, flood simulation, or in real-time water body simulations. We will use it. Okay, let's take a look at each one. Let's first look at our simplest one, the shape of plain water in the mountain eye. Okay, I've already clipped it for you. In the shape, we open it. Okay, this is the entire shape of the plain water. As you can see, as long as we turn on SSR of the entire scene open, the plain water can directly reflect us. The entire GIS terrain. Meanwhile, the flat water can also reflect the sky. Meanwhile, the disturbance of the plain water, which is actually a normal disturbance. So it is the best water in performance. However, this kind of water has its own shortcomings. Firstly, it will be very rigid at the edge, as you can see. Secondly, it is a whole body of water. On the side of the ripple, you actually feel that there are water ripples, but it is not a real water ripple. It's actually a plane. So when it's on the shore, it will not have the effect of ripples. Okay, this is the best water we have, and also the most used water. On some computers with poor performance, or in some projects that don't require high visual effects, that don't have high requirements, I recommend you to use this kind of flat water. The material of the plain water has many settings. In the class about flat water, I will explain it in detail. Okay, after watching our flat water, let's take a look at our wave-simulated water. Okay, the wave-simulated water, as you can see, it looks more realistic. First, it would have a wave-tipping white foam effect, and there will be a foaming effect on the shore. In addition, if we look closely at the shore, we can find that it is not rigid at all. And because it is a real waveform simulation, so there will be a continuous, the effect of waves constantly hitting the shore. The water in our poxylophora. The water material can also be adjusted. For example, we can adjust the maximum transparency depth. You can see this transparent. Such a bottom. Inside, it will reflect to me through the refraction effect. So this effect will be more realistic. But the water simulated by the waveform, its performance is not as good as that of flat water. Overall, we can see that the FPS has dropped a bit. Meanwhile, we can also see here, there is a wave type. We can also support a more advanced waveform, but it will take up more performance. We will talk about this in the section of wave simulation. I will explain it in detail. In the section of wave simulation of water, let's take a look at our last one, which is our physical simulation. It's a real physical simulation based on physics. We are based on the diving equation. There is a diving simulation. We click Start Simulation. We can see the water of the diving equation. Firstly, it uses the water of the waveform, rendering effect. Its refraction and scattering are very realistic. Meanwhile, we are in the hole. We can see a square here. In the entire square. In real time, to calculate the fluctuation of the water. So it will be more realistic. We can see this side, the flow of the water. There's a small bump here, and so on. Will be very realistic. So this kind of simulation of real-time simulation of the flooding effect is very suitable. Okay, today we'll take you to overview. The 3 situations of water in the classic of mountains and seas. In the later courses, we'll introduce them one by one. Introduce how to set these waters.